Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias. So I just watched a video over at RJ's Knives, and it was a response to an open tag from Uncommon EDC. Now, I haven't watched Uncommon EDC's original video yet, so I might have a few of the details wrong here, but I hope I got it right from watching RJ's Knives. And basically what it is, show one knife from every color of the rainbow. So one red knife, one orange knife, one yellow knife, one green knife, one blue knife, one indigo knife, and one violet knife. And I thought, you know what, I should do that. And more importantly, I should do this without putting too much thought into it. Just grab one of each knife and shoot the video and not waste too much time. I can always revisit it later if it doesn't work out well. But as soon as I came downstairs, I got distracted because, well, I got this knife here, which is the Old Bear Rainbow Mushroom Knife. And supposedly it is every color of the rainbow. But if you look closely, you'll see red, orange, yellow, green, blue. And then this is their indigo, and that's the violet. So it's almost like two shades of blue. And that's because indigo is a really deep blue, or it's a bluish purple, and then violet is a reddish purple. So that's every color of the rainbow. So in theory, I've got one knife that does have all the rainbow in there, and it is a pretty cool little mushroom knife. There I go, locking the blade, and I like that. And then I also have another honorable mention. It doesn't quite have all the colors of the rainbow, but as soon as I came downstairs and saw this, it's like, oh yeah, gotta break out the tie-dye flipper by Rough Rider. And I guess it's missing the red, but if you look closely, you do see the indigo and violet in there. And I guess maybe that is a red dot in the middle of all that orange. And then you got the yellow, you do see a little bit of the green, and then there's the indigo and the violet in there too. But just thought I'd have to show that one too. And now that I've shown those two knives, let's get into the 7 knives that make up the rainbow here. And what I tried to do is get one knife of different patterns. Unfortunately, like a lot of people, when you get into that indigo and violet area, the number of purple knives I have is kind of sparse. But when we get to the other end of the rainbow, the red, I'm probably like so many other people, when it comes to seeing red, I could go nuts with knives. But I want to, and I actually have gone nuts with knives, especially because of, well, Swiss Army knives. But what I decided to do, at least for the red, was get something that did not show up in the Seeing Red series that I did, because that was all sorts of red knives. And I think a lot of people have the red. It's the other end of the rainbow where it becomes difficult. So let's take a look at the red knife that I decided to show that I don't show that often. And so the color red is going to be represented by my gaff knife by Best Made. This was made in Japan. It's got a red celluloid handle on there. It's got brass liners, you can see there's carbon steel back springs going on. It's got a bail here so you can hang it off of stuff. And then it's got a big old gaff hook here. And this is for pulling a fish out of the water. You usually slip it in through the gills and yank it up and everything. Obviously not a lot of fun for the fish, and that's usually something you would do only if you're going to be eating the fish or something, because also it kind of messes up the fish. Then it's got a scaling blade with a cap lifter on there. And then finally it's got what's supposed to be a fillet blade. It's just a long clip blade. Not the most comfortable knife to use, but there you have it, the Best Made gaff knife for the red color of the rainbow. And let's move over to orange now. And I thought long and hard about this. I've got about 3 or 4 orange knives, but the one I thought I will break out is my Marbles Workman Series knife in Orange G10. Now, this is a deluxe scout knife. I think that's what the Boy Scouts originally called them. And this was brought over into the Marbles line. They didn't put it in the Rough Rider line for some reason. But anyway, it's got this really cool shield on there, which is an arrow, and it says Marbles Workman on there. Brass pins hold the G10 covers on the knife. You got nickel silver bolsters that are ringed, and then you see the brass liners and spacers in between the blades, and stainless steel back springs going on. It's a 3-layer knife. The main blade goes right down the middle, which is really good for control and everything. I like the placement of the main blade on here. The deluxe knife, for some reason, did not come with a bail. It has never had it. I know that this was a derivative of the mountain troops knives from World War II. Also, the first special services knives from World War II. They had a knife very similar to this that did have a bail. But in any case, that's what this is derived from. But it was the deluxe scout knife. So you saw where the main blade is. Then up front you have your can opener. On the opposite side of the can opener, you have the punch or the awl. And then on the back side, you have the Phillips screwdriver. This is really for a #1 Phillips. And then on the opposite side of that, you have your cap lifter and screwdriver. Flathead screwdriver. So that is the Marbles Workman, and that one will be representing the color orange. That brings us to yellow. And I actually did put a little thought in what yellow knife I was going to show, because I thought, well, yellow composition, I've got a lot of it, and there's some pieces that are pretty cool that I'd really like to show, but I thought everyone's going to be showing yellow comp. I don't want to show yellow comp. And then I thought, well, maybe yellow bone. And it's like, don't really have that much yellow bone. Got a couple, but... And then it hit me. You know what? There is a knife that I have in yellow that I really like and I hardly ever show. And that is my H1 Salt Series Dragonfly. So I went and grabbed that instead. I've actually got 2 of these. I grabbed this one because this has the hawkbill blade, the serrated hawkbill blade, and I wanted to show that one. And I really like this knife because of the black accents on here with the torque screws and the black wire pocket clip. I like the way that looks on there against the yellow. And I just thought this has one wicked blade going on to that serrated hawkbill blade. I just liked it. And, you know, I've always been meaning to do a video on this, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. Because the question would be, is H1 steel a super steel? Or is it not a super steel? And I think it really comes down to your definition of super steel. But in any case, maybe I'll get around to that video sometime. But there's my orange. So we've got red, orange, yellow. Next up is the middle color, and that is green. And this is a knife I've shown recently, well, within the last year or so. But I thought, nah, I got to break it out anyway, because this is really a cool knife and I really like it. And so you're going to see it again, and it is my Rough Rider Mushroom Hunters 2 knife. This is a Mushroom Hunters knife, similar to what I showed in the beginning with the one from Old Bear. And it is the second Rough Rider you're seeing in the group, but technically this was not a knife that I was showing because of the rainbow knives. This is a knife that had all sorts of colors on it. This is only in green. I wish they would come out in another color. I've actually contacted them about this knife with an idea that they might want to do with it. And it had something that, and it did not involve removing the boar's hair brush. But anyway, you got the boar's hair brush here. You got the, and this is for cleaning your mushrooms. Then you've got your 4cm ruler. You got the nice little etch of the mushroom there and the little mushroom underneath there. Green anodized aluminum. You've got the really nice snap hook for hooking it onto a belt loop or onto your basket for mushroom hunting. And then it's got one of the wickedest looking hawkbill blades I've seen in a long time on a knife. This knife is just gorgeous looking. And it also has a pocket clip for the folks out there who really like pocket clips. So this was my choice for green. The Mushroom Hunters 2 by Rough Rider. That brings us to blue. And when I think of blue, I think of not only the sky, but the ocean. I was just thinking, you know, sailing the ocean blue. And that brought me to a marlin spike knife. Now, I've got quite a few blue marlin spike knives, but I decided to go with the one that had the brightest blue going. And that one is right here by Meyerchen. And it's got the big old blue whale on there on top of everything else. This is the P300 by Meyerchen. You've got the marlin spike on the back there. You've got the pair of pliers there for the mouth of the fish. Yeah, it definitely looks like a fish. And then you've got the sheep's head blade on there. That's right, that's what they call it. They call it a sheep's head blade. You can open that up one-handed. Really funky looking blade. Got that bump there, but it feels good. You know, it just feels really good. You can definitely get a purchase on that blade if you need to do some serious cutting. You've got the scalloped blade going on, or if you want to call it serrated blade, you notice that type of serration going on. And this is the serial number on this one. This is back when they were actually serializing even these. And this was you see there, Pro Marine Stainless, made in Japan. Got a pocket clip on one side. You can actually close everything one-handed too. You got the, well, you can if you're right-handed, a little bit easier, but it does close one-handed. This one's a little stiff right now. Even this locks, both sides lock and unlock. Yeah, so there you have it, my Meyerchen P300 Sailor's Tool in blue. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. We're down to indigo and violet. Let's move things around so we can show them all. Okay, bring the camera back a bit, show a little more ground. All right, time for indigo. Now, indigo is that bluish purple. It's kind of a, and RJ pointed out that indigo dye is actually used for making blue jeans, and so he showed a denim knife, and you know what, that's not a bad idea. If you don't have anything in indigo, you could go in that direction. But he also showed another knife for his purple or his violet, and that's the knife I'm going to be showing for, well, a knife in that same series is the one I'm going to use for indigo, because I think this is more representative of indigo. And that's not a shot at RJ's, because there's just not a lot of purple knives out there when you get right down to it. And I've got a lot of knives, and I don't have a whole lot of purple knives. So this is my example for indigo. This is the medium toothpick by Case in their barn board jig purple, or purple bone barn board jig, or however they call it. Well, you can see there it's a nice deep purple going on, a little lighter on this side. I would not consider this a violet. I would consider it more, well, I would consider it purple, which is what they called it. But with indigo being a darker bluish purple, I guess this fits the bill. I think this is one of those things where people are just going to have to accept that there's just not a lot of purple out there. And the rainbow declares that you must show two purples, indigo and violet. And let's go for my violet. And unfortunately, it's another toothpick, but it's not by Case. But it's the knife I'm going to consider violet. And I think when I bought it, it was actually listed as violet. This is the Guardian Angel and violet acrylic, or violet swirl acrylic, or something like that. And it is a wonderful, gorgeous looking knife. Made in China by Raging Bull. You got the nickel silver bolsters, brass liners, stainless steel back spring, 448 stainless steel blade. You got the nickel silver Latin cross going on there. just a gorgeous acrylic going in there, though. I really like that. And the swirly plastic. And yeah, 5 inches closed, 9 inches long open. And that will be my violet. And you can see the differences between the two purples. There's definitely a difference between them. This is a much deeper, darker purple. This one's almost black. And this one is definitely a light, vibrant violet color. So those are my two purples. Now, now another knife I was thinking of using instead of the violet Guardian Angel toothpick was a knife from Case, and that is my peanut with scissors. This is a little Case peanut, you know, so you've got your clip blade, but it came with a pair of scissors instead of the small pin blade, and also it has a little bail on it, which was pretty cool. And this was the bone on it. Beautiful bone, but the bone, according to Case, is magenta, not violet. But I guess it could have passed for violet. But I thought, you know what? One of the things that RJ mentioned at the beginning of his video was that it all got started because of a pink knife. And really, when you think about it, magenta is more of a deep pink than it is purple. And so I've been meaning to do it for a while, and I'm probably going to do it very soon. Show us your pink knives, because we've done all these other things, but it's like pink is always just kind of tossed to the side. And I know I'm not the only one that has probably more pink knives than he ever set out to get, but I've got quite a few pink knives. So and this is one of them that I would throw into the pink family, even though it is not the true pink that most people think of. In Case does a lot of sneaky stuff like that with their pink knives. Any case, right now, let's talk about the rainbow. We got the red gaff knife, the orange deluxe scout knife, the yellow dragonfly, the Rough Riders Green Mushroom Hunters 2, the very blue Meyerchin P300 Sailor's Tool, the Indigo or purple barnboard jig medium toothpick by Case, and then finally the violet swirl Guardian Angel large toothpick. And that was my rundown. I tell you what, I had actually quite a bit of fun doing this. I had a fun time looking for the knives in the collection. I also just had a lot of fun talking about them. It's nice to see something that I don't always go around grabbing. So I want to say thank you to RJ's Knives for responding to Uncommon EDC's open tag, because I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. And now to go check out Uncommon EDC's original video on this, because I'm really interested in seeing that. And so also a big thank you to Uncommon EDC for coming up with the idea of an open tag of show us one knife of every color of the rainbow if you can. It was a lot of fun. And like I said at the beginning, I got one knife that has every color of the rainbow on it, but it was purposely made that way. It's a little trickier finding all the other knives. To me, I would say show us a knife that is close as you can get to representing every color of the rainbow, especially when it gets down to that purple. But somebody out there probably has tons of purple knives. Anyway, I'm going to let you go now because I am definitely rambling. But this was a lot of fun, and I really had a great time doing it. Thanks again, RJ's Knives, and especially thank you to Uncommon EDC for the concept of this open tag. let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with Tobias. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.